Hello and good afternoon, everyone. My name's Dave. I'm here with Ray from Skip, and today we are going to be talking about business plans and how to create them using AI. Let's see here. Let's just take a look here at the live events page. So if you've never been to one of these live events, you can always go on to our live events page and click I'm interested, and then you'll get an email with the link for any of our live events. But let's get into the whole business plan thing here. So before you get started on a business plan, this is going to help you with Skip overall. It's highly recommended that you fill out your grants vault, and this is going to give the AI context about your business, and it's going to speed things up for you. So we have the legacy way of creating business plans, which is right here, and you basically just answer the questions, and you can use AI to help you answer the questions. If your grants vault's filled out and you use this way, 6 out of the 14 questions are already answered for you. So you don't necessarily have to start from scratch. Now let's go into co-founder. And hello, everyone. I see everyone's popping in right now. And inside a co-founder, we have specialists. And you don't necessarily have to do it this way, but I can click create business plan, or I could just type it out. But let's press the button here, create business plan. And now co-founder is going to ask me some questions about my business. All right, it's a quick snapshot of my business. And let's see here. We can make your business plan even stronger, competitive advantage, financial projections, what I like to do next. Let's see here. It says generate business plan. I might have already started working on it. Let me just do this. Start from the beginning. There we go. Okay, I'm at 0% now. So right here, it's showing the different structure of the business plan. And what's the one sentence pitch for Produce Portal? What do you do? Who do you help? And why you're unique? All right. Produce Portal sells rare produce online nationwide. We help others get a taste of home delivered to their home. All right.
Now you're starting to sound like me, David.
Yeah. And then here, it's giving me an option if I want to make the pitch stronger or if I want to do the business description. So I'm just going to click make pitch stronger. Okay. So it expanded a little bit on what I wrote, next day shipping, or if you want to highlight the cultural angle. Yeah, I'm going to use that second example. I do want to highlight the cultural example. So now it's gone through that. And then now it's asking about the business description. I can see an example one, and sometimes it'll just write out the whole description for me. Let's press the button, see what it does. Okay. Founded after realizing that many Americans struggle to find the specialty fruits and vegetables, their cultural cuisines. Da da da. I'm going to use that example. And now I have my business description right here. Now you'll notice a lot of this looks very short, but when it goes to generate everything, the AI actually expands on a lot of this stuff. Let's see here. Who your ideal customers are, demographics, interest, locations, market size, opportunity. Okay, let's look at an example. I'm going to try to type as little as possible and generate a fairly decent business plan. So right here, you'll notice the market analysis. I didn't put any of this information, but there's 45 million foreign-born residents, many of whom maintain strong culinary ties to their heritage. This is actually very good. And then here, it shows some of my competitors. This is also very important for business plans. So we have We, Fresh Direct, Amazon Fresh, and it shows what differentiates us. We stand out because we offer a curated, culturally diverse selection and faster, more personalized delivery. All right, so I'll use that. And then you can, it says here, customize with my data. So if you have any information that you want to include, you can also include that inside of your explanations. Okay, so here's my market analysis for Produce
So,
Portal.
David,
And yes,
here's a question for you. If you have a
all right.
profit and loss, can you just upload your profit and loss to the business plan creation so that way you can pull those numbers and use them for real
You,
data?
so yeah, so you can upload right here. There's an upload button, and you can upload different files in there. And I would suggest if you do upload it, you can do either an image or a PDF. I haven't really tested with like Word documents, so they might work also. But yeah, experiment with it. But you can put any documents you might have, or you could even, let's say, copy and paste stuff from your website in here and give it more information about your business. So it is flexible where you can bring information from outside sources. All right. Do we have any questions, by the way, just in case
We do
I'm
have a
going too
few
fast?
questions here, David. Nope, nope, no, you're not
All
going
right.
too fast at all. Um, the Notary Giant just has a general question here that they have 3 business plans that they created through the platform. How many times a year would they need to update them?
It's going to vary. Whenever there's any changes in your business, a business plan is supposed to be a living document. So as there are changes or progress in your business, you should make little tweaks to it. You don't necessarily have to rewrite the whole thing, just small tweaks here and there. So there's no set number. It might be once a year, it might be 10 times a year.
I personally like to update mine at least twice a year. That way I don't have to update it all at once at the end of the year and just have a huge pile of work for me.
Yeah.
All right. Now I know we're going through a business plan right now. TNT Consulting PDX, excuse me, is asking. They want to know how to handle parent companies versus products.
Parent companies versus products.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I'm not sure what that means. I mean, if you have a parent company and you have subsidiary companies, I guess you can create them in here as separate companies. That's one way to do it. Um, Not sure if I answered the question, but if you rephrase that a little bit, I might understand it a little better.
All right. Now there's a follow-up question to that. How do you talk about a product concept that isn't up and going yet?
Okay, so a lot of stuff in business plans and in general is projecting, even on your grant applications. And but when you have a product idea or a concept, you know more or less what its use is, who's going to be the target market for it. So you project what you think is going to happen, and it's a projection. So it's not always going to be accurate, but you want to try to make it as accurate as you think it will be. And you can ask co-founder, like, okay, here's my product concept. I'm creating I don't know, a light bulb that never dies. Who's my potential audience for this type of product? And then you build off of that.
Right. So you're kind of right on along the lines because they let us know they have a product that's going to be rolling out, but it's just a concept right now as to opposed or reaching business that isn't um, under something less cumbersome. So right there, I believe that you answered their question. But again, TNT Consulting PDX, if we're kind of off here, just let us know in the comments below and we'll be able to clarify even further.
Yeah, so I kind of understood that as it's not part of the main business or not yet. Um,
Mhm.
I mean, you can, for example, some businesses what they do is they don't necessarily register other LLCs under their business, but what they do is they might create a DBA for their other business. So the name of the business, mine is Produce Portal. I sell produce online, but I also have my light bulb idea. I might register my state as a DBA as light bulb solutions, and that's what my business is going to be known as. So that's what's called doing business as. And I mean, that's another way to do it. And then if let's say you're applying for grants, you would do two versions. So you'd have your produce portal talking about produce, and then you'd have the DBA lighting solutions with a whole other angle as far as grant applications or business plans. So you'd have two versions. And you could also have
Okay.
a unified version. The only thing is they're two completely different ideas, so you probably do want to branch them off a little bit. All right. So where am I here? Okay, products and services. And I'm just gonna have it give me an example. But you just list whatever. You just answer these questions here. Any unique services, any products. I actually had some examples of different fruit that I put in here before, and I'm gonna use this example. And if something's incorrect, you just type in this is incorrect, and then it'll update. All right, marketing and sales strategy. AI usually does a really good job with the marketing and sales strategy because there's only so many ways you can market a business. You know, you have the social media, you have paid ads, you have networking, partnerships. I mean, it's already mentioned here. So this one, unless you have a really unique way of doing it, then a lot of times this is going to be good. Let's see here. Multi-channel, da da da. Yeah, this part doesn't really mention any paid ads, but let's put mention paid ads on Google also. So there's an example of just adding something in there. All right, so now running targeted ads. Still mentioning, let's see here. Just going to leave that. Use that. Operations management section. Who's on your core team? So this is going to be a biography of your team members. You want to put that in there. Key roles, any standout processes. Just going to check an example. So on my account,
And the,
it says my name is David Skip. So right here, it says my name. You always want to put your name on there, especially if you're the founder or the sole owner. Put your name in here. Yeah, what were you saying, Ray?
I was going to say for the team section, David, would you suggest adding additional members here? Just not because, of course, we have internal members and external team members.
Yeah, anyone that makes a difference in your business, you can add them in there. You know, you technically could put in your accountant. Oh, this person keeps track of our bookkeeping and taxes and paying our bills. You can add them in, even if they're a contractor for you. You know, they're not directly under your company, or mentors. You know, John Smith, founder of Microsoft, he is a consultant for our business. You know, that shows that you have a plan for your business. You have a lot of good people backing your business. So I'm just going to use this example. And now for the grand finale, your financial projections. So right here, share your most recent annual revenue and profits. I'll put some real numbers in there. Well, real fake numbers. Numbers I'll make up right now. 2024, let's say $100,000 gross, 15,000 expenses. Let's see, 2025, 150,000 gross, 15,000 expenses. Then I'll just put expenses are, let's say 5,000 advertising, 2,000 uh, merchant fees, and let's see here. You see that where fees doesn't show completely?
Yeah, because of the
That's so
little
weird.
arrow there that's in the middle of the screen.
Yeah, scroll to bottom. All right, let's do that. Okay, that just wanted me to scroll to the bottom here. Okay. And then what's that? 7,000, 8,000 left. 8,000 uh, inventory. And then I'll just put that in there. But if you're not sure what to put in, just put in use example financials, and then you can update your own financials. So it'll say, you might have to pay rent, salaries, and other things like that, licensing, reviewing details. I think it might be ready to create it. Usually when it says reviewing details, it's doing something big.
While we wait, David, we do have one question here from Chandra Apitas 7844. Are charts in the business plan necessary?
No, nothing's mandatory. You can. It's good to have at least financial information, whether it's in regular writing like words or a chart. A chart a lot of times just easier to read. Let's see here. Okay, let me see if my business plan was created. So right here, so you'll see here it says your business plan is ready. Here's what happens. You can find the business plan right here under documents. Sometimes it will show you a link here. Actually, let me see. What's the no, let's put how do I access my business plan? Clicking the download option, ready to download now. Yeah, I don't know if this button's gonna work, but let's try it. Okay, here it is. So right here is the PDF. Let me. All right, so that took me to an error page. So I'll just look at it through my documents here. So let's open this up, and I will share the tab. So out of the little bit I wrote, it created 26 pages of business plan. So let's look at it here. Okay, so it has zip code, state. This I'd want to edit, put in my address here, and let's look at everything else. So you see it expanded on everything I wrote. So the executive summary, that's a summary of everything that follows in the business plan. The executive summary is right at the beginning of a business plan. It's just a breakdown of what they're going to see. So if someone reads your executive summary, they should get an idea about a little bit of each section from this section here. All right. Innovative online marketplace. Okay, my company description. That's pretty straightforward. The opportunity. So, what's the opportunity for my business? It the Our differentiator is right here. I sell hard to find products, and I deliver them quickly. Vision. This is your vision or your mission statement. A lot of these are pretty long. Generally, they're short, but this one's more detailed. My team here's has my name here, and it says seasoned entrepreneur. So it gives a little background about me. I didn't mention that I have a team or anything, but looks like it invented a teammate here, Karen Patel. So that I would edit, which I'll show you how to do if you're not sure how to do that. And we have Tom Nguyen here. So we have two people here that I don't know who they are. Oh, and I see a Maria mentioned here. Okay, so that's why you want to read everything before you let it go to someone else or send it to someone. So right here, it created demographics, geographic areas where there's high immigrant populations for my products, and psychographics, market size. So it creates a lot of stuff here. Let me just scroll down a
Mhm.
little faster here. The pricing strategy. This is good if you know what your pricing is going to be. This is very good to include. If you're not sure, talk about how the pricing of your competitors and whether you're going to be in line with them or less. The marketing and promotion. This is the one that I want to see. So we have social media, we have collaborating with community organizations, referrals, email marketing. Let's see, did it mention the paid ads? Okay, right here. We will employ retargeting ads on Google and social media. So that was included. Industry analysis. These are my competitors and milestones and key objectives. So this gave me some milestones. You can always include your own milestones. And here it created a table with some of my milestones. And if anything's inaccurate, you just make an edit. Financial summary. This is breaking down what my revenue is going to be, or my uh, anticipated revenue for 2025 and growth. So this is projections here, and it gave me 4 years of projected revenue, which you can put in yourself if that's what you believe. But I remember the first number I put was 100, and then the second number I believe was 150. So it just boosted me up 50,000 a year based on that number. And then funding required. I didn't answer this question, but I could definitely update this to a lower number. And then the breakdown. You always want to break down what you're going to spend money on. So on a business plan, it's very important. So on the grants, it's a big question, but on business plans, extremely important to break down where money's going. Now let me go back here. So now I'm gonna update my business plan. So you could do that either directly on the same page and just start making updates to it. Or if you open up a new chat, you would type in update my business plan. It'll pull the last version it worked on. So I'm going to update mine. Um, I'm the only member on the team. Remove anyone. No, let's put remove everyone except for David Skip. And then the funding required. I only require let's say 50 $150,000 of funding, not $500,000. Update my business plan. And I probably didn't even have to type the update my business plan, but
Doesn't hurt.
now, now it's making changes. All right. Do we have anything pending over there?
We do have a pending question, David, but I'm holding it off in just a bit so that way we can use co-founder to answer that is
Okay.
asked.
All right. Yeah, this is usually the pause when it's reviewing details. Oh, there we go. Here's what changed. The team section now lists only you as a sole operator. Your funding goal is set to 150, not 500. All content is fully revised. Okay, now I'll go back to documents here. And that's not it. Let's download updated business plan. Okay. Now let's take a look in documents again. And there we go. Now you'll see here, I have two business plans added today. So now I can review this one. And let's just skip to what I changed. Team right here. Okay, so right here, it took out the names of the people here. So there is a team that helps me, but doesn't mention any names here. So that's good. And then I also changed my required funding amount, which is right here. We're seeking $50,000. I could swear I put 150. So let me just double check that. Yeah, so I put 150. So that's still not correct, but I could just edit it again. Now that's one way of doing it. Another way, if you have very minor changes, or I mean, even if you have big changes, you can actually just go to the business plan page and you can click this create business plan button. It'll just regenerate it, and then there'll be an edit section. You know something? I might as well do that.
Just kind of show for
Yeah.
everyone tuning in how to edit from both angles.
Yeah. Yeah. Because sometimes if you only want to change, like it said 50,000 instead of 150, that's like a 2-second change. So there's kind of no point in having it regenerate all over again. So right here, I can just click this edit button here, and I want to add my address: 123 Main Street. I don't know where I said I was based out of, but we'll say Newark, New Jersey, and so that's that section. And let's say funding required 50,000. I'm going to change that to 150, and then I'm not going to change any of the other numbers. This is more for example, and then save changes, and then I can save the existing version or save it as a new plan. I'll just save as existing version. And then on this side, you can download the business plan, and then you could add your logo. So that's one thing that's missing from co-founders, adding your logo, I believe. So you can add it right through here. All right. So now, all right. So what was that question that you had about co-founder or that?
And just to kind of add to that, David, if you go through the dashboard and then add it to your business plan through there, it gives you more control versus editing through co-founder. And I personally like having control, right? Especially when there are several changes, just minor changes, like changing numbers or maybe changing a sentence or two. But I personally prefer going through the dashboard. All right. So
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
TNT Consulting PDX is letting us know, how do you justify expenses on a concept? So can we go ahead and use co-founder David for that?
Yeah, let's
Let's go
put
with your
in
light
my
bulb idea.
concept. Yeah, let's put in. So I'm just starting a new chat. I invented a light bulb that never dies. Let's see here. What are costs associated with manufacturing and getting started for this idea? Let's see what it tells us. Okay, so product development. So basic prototype can range from 2,000 and 50,000 plus. But you see here, give me a big breakdown. Let's scroll back up here. So 2,000 for basic prototypes, for 50,000 plus for advanced work. Patent and legal, 3 to 15,000. Compliance, 5 to 20. Manufacturing setup, 10 to 100,000. Unit costs, and so it says right here, realistic initial budgets, 50 to $200,000. Now you might not have all of these costs, but these are actually this is actually a pretty good explanation. This is better than I expected on cost. But you want to, if you're just starting out and it's a concept, you really want to start on the lower side, because if you start too high, a lot of places that will look at your business, they'll look at it as an unattainable amount. So if you can get your estimates as low as possible, it definitely makes things easier to get funded. Um, so like the research and development here, it says 2,000 to 50,000. You might want to talk to different manufacturers within that space and see what the actual pricing is. Um, if there are other businesses that do something similar, you can reach out to them and see what their costs were, to just to get an idea. A lot of times it's good to get ideas from someone in the same or similar industry to know your actual costs. But these are pretty good estimates. But it's a very wide range, 50 to 200,000. That's $150,000 difference.
Exactly, David. But as you mentioned, it's a good start, right? It's a good start to make those justifications to those expenses, especially when you just I mean,
Definitely.
we didn't necessarily have this a year ago. Maybe we can just ask a particular question and it gave us all of this information. You know, I'm sure when we both started, David, our businesses, it was all pen and paper, reading through books, digging out on the internet, doing a lot of the manual work. So now that AI is in the picture, it's definitely cuts down on how much research you're doing for your business plan, especially if it's a concept. But again, just reach out to those people, get some firmer numbers. This is a good start.
Yeah, and something else you can do is Where did you get where did you get these numbers from? Do you have any reference information I can investigate? Let's see what that brings up. Because sometimes the AI scrapes the surface, but let's see what references. Okay, the patent trademark office, the certification, uh, ULCE certification that you see on your light bulbs, and then cost to manufacture a product. This is a link to a guide, and it says page not found. Okay, but it's probably in this on this website somewhere. So you can look there, and let's see what this one is. Investors Digest: the real cost to bring a product to market. Let's click on that one. See if that one wants to work. And that one doesn't want to work either. Well, that was a good example right here. Well, right here, inventor resources, inventing 101, think marketing, meant to invent, prototyping, lander zone. So this can give you other information that you can use for your ideas.
I know we're short on time here, David, but Sharni Barnes 6239 is letting us know this is very nice. They'd like us to create a business plan for them with their credit. They do have a business plan already, and if we could kindly look at theirs. But I would say, Shani, is just shoot us an email, support@helloskip.com, and we'll be more than happy to guide you in the right direction. But yeah, David or myself would love to go through your business plan and talk a little bit more in depth with you. Otherwise, as David likes to say, you feel free to schedule a one-on-one call on the dashboard.
Yeah, I think. Let me see here. I don't know if you can use the credits for that directly. I think you have to actually email support. Let me just see here. Yeah, so for like one-on-one calls, you just email support and they'll hook that up.
Of course, we'll be more than happy to help. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. We really do appreciate it, David and myself. We hope that this session was very informative, insightful, and helpful to each one of your businesses. Again, we can't stress this enough. If you have any questions, feedback, concerns, feel free to shoot us an email, support@helloscope.com. Other than that, enjoy the rest of your day. Stay safe. Good luck with everything, and we'll see you on the next one.
All right, thank you. Bye.